Hi folks, how you doing? This is Iqbal with NVIDIA Daily Analysis. Such a volatile day for NVIDIA stock. But the good thing is it closed positive today. In this video, we'll discuss NVIDIA stock price movement for today, and we'll also discuss technical charts and other news and data to make an assessment for NVIDIA stock price movement for this week. Now, let's get started. Starting with the daily summary, Nvidia opened at 116.55. It made a high 116.99. It made a low 114.86 and it closed at 116.26. That is 0.22% up. But overall, as you see today, there was no clarity in direction. So lots of ups and downs, ups and downs. But the good thing is, as I mentioned, Nvidia closed positive compared with yesterday closing price. But I still think that by the end of this week, Nvidia should close positive. I mean, this week should be a green candlestick chart for Nvidia. Unlike what we saw last week Nvidia did not do much and we had a red candlestick chart as I showed in my previous video. I will be talking about the buying and the selling points in a bit when we'll discuss about Fibonacci levels. And moving on, Nvidia last 5 days Nvidia is negative still 1.67%, last 1 month negative 10.13%, and last 6 months is still positive 22.38%, and year to date 141.35%, and that is still very good. Now, if we can take a look S&P, Dow Jones and Nasdaq, we can get an idea how the overall market performed today. Let's take a look S&P. So as you see, S&P also closed positive 0.28%, but no clarity of direction. You still see the lots of volatility. Nasdaq, same behavior, lots of ups and downs. You see, I think that Nasdaq has more volatility than S&P. And since Nasdaq has more tech stocks, so that's why you see tech stocks were under pressure today. But the good thing is Nasdaq also closed positive. That is 0.14% up. And Dow Jones also closed positive. That is 0.15%. We see some volatility, but not much compared with Nasdaq. Now let's take a look forward P for Nvidia and other AI stocks. So at this point, Nvidia forward P is at 37.75, about the same level of what we saw on Friday. So I still have the same opinion that Nvidia has more chances of going up versus going down because Nvidia's forward P is still below 40. Palantir 111.62, better than Friday, so Palantir keeps going up today as well. The last 2-3 weeks, Palantir had a very good time. SMCI 14.66 versus last week Friday 14.39. So SMCI also went up today. AMD 40.71 versus 40.51 on Friday, so slightly higher than the last week closing. Now let's take a look percentage change analysis for Nvidia. So in this quarter, after the previous earnings report, on the cumulative percentage change basis, Nvidia is still negative, and that is 0.01% negative. So based on the percentage cumulative change, Nvidia has more possibility of going up versus going down before the next earnings. And also, Micron earnings is due day after tomorrow, so probably that might impact Nvidia stock price as well. If Micron able to beat the earnings with a good margin, then probably it should help Nvidia stock go up as well on Thursday. But if Micron misses the earnings, then probably it won't be a good news for Nvidia as well. So let's take a look Micron's historical earnings data. On your screen you see Micron earnings data for last 4 quarters. In the last 4 quarters, Micron was able to beat the earnings and also the revenue. So that's why I think that in this cycle, Micron should also be able to beat the earnings. But the interesting thing would be with how much margin or with how much surprise, because in the last quarter we saw for Nvidia and other AI stocks, the earnings surprise went down. So in my opinion, probably Micron would be able to beat the earnings, but not more than 15%. The last cycle, it did 17.27% surprise. In this cycle, I guess it should be less than 15%. Now, let's take a look technical charts. You see 180-day hourly interval chart for Nvidia and also the Fibonacci levels. So based on my Fibonacci levels, as we saw on Friday, the next level of support was 115, and still you see that Nvidia is trading around 115. Based on my understanding, 115 to me was a good support level, so some consolidation is happening around 115. But if Nvidia is able to break that consolidation, then the next level would be 108. And 108, again, in my opinion, is a strong support level. And also, if Nvidia goes down to 108 level, probably that would be a good buy point. And I'm considering to buy more Nvidia if Nvidia goes down to this level or below this level. On the upper side, the next level of resistance is 125. And again, this is a litmus test for me. Unless and until Nvidia breaks this level, I won't be too much confident that Nvidia got the strong momentum to make another all-time high. So so that's why this 125 level is very critical. And at the same time, I think for Nvidia investors and Nvidia shareholders, there is nothing much to worry at this point because there is no downtrend I see at this point on Nvidia. Some sideways movement or some consolidation does not reflect any negative momentum it started building up. Now let's take a look Bullinger Bands. So as you see, the gap between the upper band and the lower band is going further down. You see? So this also suggests that the consolidation has started happening on Nvidia. So not much momentum at this point on Nvidia. Or in other words, the buying and the selling forces are balancing each other out very well. And probably sometime last week when I showed you the Bullinger Bands, I made a comment that, the Bullinger Band started contracting, the gap between upper and the lower band it started going down, and this suggests that the momentum on Nvidia is not there, either positive or negative. If you remember my conversation sometime maybe Wednesday or Thursday in my video. So at this point, nothing different from that point of view because the Nvidia stock chart, let me make it a little bigger, is still not touching the lower band, right? So this means that, the negative momentum also has not started building up. Okay. Now let's take a look some news regarding Nvidia. Okay, starting with this one that says Nvidia's H20 AI accelerators might face the next US ban. And if I remember correctly, this may not be a new development. Probably sometime few months back, we have also similar kind of news regarding H20. Let's take a look. If I put this one, the keyword search, and then, okay, you see that in July 21, we had the similar news regarding H20. Let's take a look. And it says that Nvidia could lose up to $12 billion in revenue if US bans new China-oriented GPU. A potential H20 ban would be a significant hit for Nvidia. So if that happens, probably that will be a big impact on Nvidia. So if that news was true and going to happen anytime soon, I'm not sure why Nvidia was not down today. Maybe the stock market already absorbed or digested this news sometime in July or August. So that's why it's not something new for Nvidia stockholders. You can write in the comment section what do you guys think. And this one that says Nvidia's stock is no longer the S&P top gainer this year, but it's still 141% up in last 9 months year to date. It's such a big increase, even if it's not the top gainer. Okay, now this one is about Nvidia CEO. So that says Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang meets PM Modi, says it's India's movement amid AI boom. So good thing for India and Nvidia as well. So if Nvidia does more investment on India and more projects in India, probably that might attract more revenue overseas. So today I do not find much regarding Nvidia. You see that no price target increase or decrease for Nvidia. Okay, so that's why you see that Nvidia does not have anything at this point that can take it to further high or further low. So it's moving sideways. Now let's take a look other AI stocks. So as you see, most of the AI or tech stocks in my watch list are positive today, and that's a good thing. Microsoft, Apple, and SoundHound are negative today, 1.81% down. SoundHound, Nvidia positive, and SMCI luckily also positive, 1.90% up. And you might be wondering when I sold out my stock on Friday about 451, now more upside started happening on SMCI. What I did today, I bought SMCI stocks again, the same quantity, because based on my understanding, uh, SMCI might gain more momentum before the split. So probably it's worth taking a risk to keep it for another week or two. And if it goes above 500 or 550, that may not be a big deal. I can still recover some money from SMCI. But if it goes down below 400, then I'll be losing more money. But the chances of going down to that level is low. So I'm playing another gamble on SMCI. Let me show you my transaction history. You see on your screen, you see SMCI buy 35 quantity today 923, and I sold out SMCI on Friday, it's 920. And I also bought some Amazon on 920 and sold Amazon on the same day. I do this kind of swing trading, when I see after selling my stock, I see some other opportunity or some other development, I rebuy the stock. SMCI rebuying was not in my plan on Friday, but since you see that SMCI was again up today, so I got the feeling that maybe SMCI got more positive momentum before the actual split happens sometime next week. And regarding the economic data for this week, as we noted on Friday, nothing much is expected in this week. The next thing is the weekly initial jobless claim that's going to happen on Thursday, and that's important, and the PC index on Friday. So Thursday and Friday are busy days for the economic data. And that's all about NVIDIA analysis and assessment for rest of the week. Thank you so much for your appreciation and watching this video. I hope you like the video. Talk to you more tomorrow. Take care.